Carnegie. But let's go back to George's father. Here are two little boys, about 1850, about the time there were plums here. Andrew Carnegie and his younger brother Thomas. Now, we're going to forget about Andrew. He's going to go away because Thomas is the person who grew up and he and his wife had 9 children, and one of those children ended up receiving this house as a gift for a wedding, Thomas. So Andrew's gone, okay? It's just Thomas Carnegie. Well, he grew up and married this lovely lady, Thomas Carnegie. This is this little guy right here. He didn't change too much, did he? There he is.
He lost his top hair.
That looks like Lucy.
Okay, that's the way he looked as a teenager, and then now that's whatever. There you go. And Miss Lucy Coleman, as in Coleman lanterns and backpacks and stuff. That's who he married. And they had 9 children. Oh, by the way, these little boys, when they moved here with their parents from Scotland, guess where? Yeah, Scotland. They made a fortune for themselves in what business? Oh, did you hear it? Steel. Yes, steel in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And it's pretty cold up there. So they had the money and they wanted to go south and buy another place. So they came here in 1861 and bought the Dungeness property. You know, the place that you saw where it's now in ruins. It was in ruins then too because it has burnt twice. But back in 1861, they decided to buy it. He gave it to her as a birthday gift. They bought big gifts. Why? Because they could. You know, this was a wedding gift. And then he bought her Dungeness as a birthday gift. But unfortunately, he goes away after 5 years. In 1861, he dies, and he leaves her a widow and with 9 children. Here they are on the steps of Dungeness. Not they, he's not here. Here she is, Miss Lucy, and her 9 children. Okay?
I did hear 2 of them were trouble.
2 of them?
2 of them were troublemakers. They were in jail a lot.
I think at least 2 of them, yes. I think interesting stories, and I won't tell you those, but those stories are out there, and they're very interesting. And I don't know which one's which, except I know this is George, who ended up receiving this as a wedding gift. This is younger sister Nancy, okay? She ended up moving in here after George dies, and with her husband, and they had 5 children. George and Margaret, here's George. Here's George and Margaret when they first moved in. You can tell this is one of their parties. They were entertainers. They believed in hospitality for family and friends. And they're still what heritage do you see? She's dressed up
Scottish.
Well,
Scottish.
yeah,
She's Scottish still,
kilt.
yeah, doing a little Scottish
Scottish?
jig.
That one's Scottish?
They're from Scotland.
See, she's got on the little kilt. He doesn't choose to wear it. I don't know why, but anyway.
Because it's a dress.
But they remember his heritage anyway. I think she had more French. And we'll look at their Carnegie crest in here that they made, and we'll see if we can see how it incorporates both of their heritages in here. So anyway, here's George and Margaret. It was 1898, and the wedding gift was just from this downspout to that downspout, okay, about the middle third. You know, and that's a really nice, that's a pretty good sized home they wanted to build on. Her family had some money, and so they built on, and not that his didn't have money, but helped them. And so they built, over there's going to be the pool room. We've got servants' quarters in the back. We've got a gun room over here, which is really kind of like a game room, and bedrooms. Yes?
That's the one that we saw in the picture.
Oh, yeah.
In-
Well, I
in the
don't know.
museum?
That was in the Dungeness. You guys are getting the 2 houses mixed up.
It's okay though. You know, this house, the Dungeness house, was even more to tell about it. It was even bigger. You know what I mean? But you happen just to be, but it's burnt now, so you have to kind of, we can't take too much of a tour of it, so we take a tour of this one. But it was the parents of the people that lived, of him, that were at Dungeness, and it's all the same Carnegie family, okay? So, anyway, so they built on more after they, initially were here. It was going to be worth $65,000 after it was all built. Okay, there's 30 rooms, including 11 bathrooms.
Wow.
Most of our ancestors did not have a bathroom in their house at that point, a lot of us. But they did. They had it, and they were well. And they had money, and they deserved to spend it. And they still had houses elsewhere. You all might have, maybe New York, they had homes and other places, but they liked this one. So, before we go inside, one more thing about the history of the house. I want you to think of the first 20 years. It's a wedding gift. George and Margaret lived here for 20 years. What happened? George passes. He dies. So here's Margaret, and she's a widow. She doesn't choose to stay on the island with her mother-in-law and the other in-laws. You know what I mean? She wants to go to New York. She takes some of the furniture with her. Remember, her family added in some money, and so it auctioned off. So you think, well, what kind of furniture's in there? Well, we're going to see, because after George left, his younger sister, who's in that picture, she wanted to move in with her family. And so they had to have some furniture, and they moved some furniture from Dungeness in here. And, but her family, or somebody in it, lived here for about 50 years. So I'm going to say 1920s to 1970, okay? And then nobody in that family chose to live here, and they said, let's donate it. So they indeed donated it to, guess who? National Park Foundation, okay? And they said, we'll give you the house, and we'll give you some of the acreage, and $50,000 upkeep, and it's yours. And then lawyers got involved, and negotiations, and this is what turns out now, the reason this is here today, Cumberland Island National Seashore. They expanded it from, they don't call it Carnegie Home, you know what I mean? They call it Cumberland Island National Seashore. And you get all the animals with it, and you get all the beautiful landscaped and so forth, and this wilderness area that we're very precious. But you own this. Your all's parents and your grandparents own this because it's National Park Service. So that's the reason when we go inside, I'm going to ask you to stay on the red carpet. Come on in. It's not a Carnegie carpet, okay? This would not be their style, but it's a National Park Service. So we had George and Margaret for 20 years. We had Nancy and her family for 50 years. Then, since 1972, which has been more than 50 years, it's been the National Park Service, okay? And they need volunteers to help take care of it. And we're happy to live here a few weeks out of the year. And we have a little apartment upstairs. You'll get to see the outside of our apartment. We help take care of your place, but this is your place.
Well, we appreciate it.
So help take care of it and stay on the red carpet. I'm going to ask you not to touch anything in general, but then there's some things I'm going to ask you to touch. Like when we do a go upstairs or downstairs, I'm going to ask you to touch the railing in the name of safety. So you do get to touch a few things, and you get to come in and recognize what a wonderful entrance the hall this would have been back 125 years ago. And the reason they made such a big deal about the entrance, and maybe your house has this big of an entrance. No?
This is about as big as our house.
This is your home, okay, well, welcome home, okay. To your other home, it has a bigger entrance. But they believed in hospitality. Now tell me, what is hospitality? Have you ever had any hospitality given to you?
You make them welcome.
Yeah, make people feel welcome. And what else? How do you do that? When somebody comes to visit you, what do you give them?
Something they like.
Sure.
Food, maybe, drink.
Sure. Food, drink. Show them around, yeah. You want to entertain them, So would this be something to show off? This is a special lamp that is called Tiffany Style. There was a famous artist named Tiffany, and we have 4 more Tiffany lamps in this home. I will show you. It's a special stained glass design. We don't have the authentication or the maker's mark for this one, so I can't say this is a Tiffany, but among us we can agree that's a Tiffany, but I can't officially say it. I can't show you the maker's mark. But if you've got 4 Tiffany's, you're going to probably, in your entry probably have a 5th. We all agree. It's a really special. If you were to Google these, you would lay down in the floor or faint because how much they're worth, okay? They're worth, and again, the National Park Service takes care of them. These in here have names and you can actually Google them. Anyway, Tiffany style lamp, You want to, like you say, show them around, have something neat to do. They even had their special, I'm going to call it wallpaper. It's not wallpaper. Can you tell me what this is? And this is one thing you can touch. If you're a touchy-feely kind of person, can you just, well, you got gloves on. You want to touch it for your sister? Tell her what you think it is. Y'all pass that down. It's not wallpaper. That's what we have.
I make a guess. I can make a guess of what I think it is, but
Okay, you want to guess first, or you want to let somebody else guess first?
let somebody else guess.
Cardboard?
That's close, very close.
Burlap, kind of looks like.
Huh? Paper cardboard, that's again close, but I heard you say it,
Burlap?
burlap. And they say that the brothers and sisters, remember all those brothers and sisters, that they joked to George and said, we heard are you building a house or are you building a barn up there? We heard you have burlap walls. Well, this was their walls. This is a special crest some families have. This is the lion represented by the Carnegie part, and then this is the wife, Margaret. It's called fleur de lis. It's a French word, and this little symbol right here went together. So not only was this specially made for them, the walls have special wallpaper for them. But the little sister that moved in didn't tear the wallpaper down. She was happy with it, happy to be here and see it. But all this stuff is special. This is a special hardwood floor inlaid in a herringbone pattern, and people have been walking on it for 120 plus years. This is a special place. The Scottish Heritage provided this special, not just a fireplace for warmth, but actual a cozy place, meaning you could sit down and read a book, you could entertain yourself for your guests. It's called an inglenook, and that's a Scottish word for house fire with a hearth. House fire with a hearth. It's more than just a fire to keep you warm or to cook your supper on. But this is the Scottish tradition. This furniture. George and Margaret era. But later, when the younger sister and her 5 kids and husband came, it wouldn't have been this formal, but this is just a formal setting. But it reminded you that, yes, most of your guests are going to want some food.
Looks like this is on the sunny side of the house too, right?
Yeah.
Is that his little sister?
That's the mother. That's Miss Lucy, the mother of those 9 children. So that's the little sister's mother, and that's George's mother. But she stayed there since, been hanging there, because she's kind of the matriarch or the head of this family. Did I tell you she owned 90% of this island as a widow? She received first the Dungeness property, and then they bought up more property, and by 1900, which is 125 years ago, she owned 90% of this island. And she then made an offer to her kids and said, any of y'all that want to get married and live here on the island, I'll build you a house. And George said, I will. So that's the reason he got this. Now, there are others. You may have seen something called the Grange down there at Dungeness. There's Stafford, and then there's the Grayfield Bed and Breakfast now that's on the island. That was once one of these, the Carnegie Children's Home. If you say, well, how did it look? Well, this is how it looked in 1910, and you can see it's about the same. See, you've got your, what kind of lamp there. So it's held up pretty
Your
good.
shall remain nameless in lamp.
Yes, we shall remain, call it nameless. Now, this wallpaper, some people say, that's ugly. Well, but it's 120 plus years old. So we just appreciate that it's there. And you'll see this in various stages of light and dark and pink and gray and whatever, because the sunlight, of course, makes something go, lighter, bleeds. Now, after you were entertained by the fireplace, and had the socialization in there for your friends, then you had your after dinner drinks or whatever here. You say, why do we need 2 doors? Well, we don't, but they used to have 2 rooms. Women would go through over there. They needed the bigger door because of their what?
Oh, they're hoop skirts.
So this is the women's room over there initially for for Georgia Market. Like I said, they changed their mind, did some renovation. This would be the men's side. They call theirs the gun room, and the women's the library or parlor. Now, come on in, and you can see it's all one big library now. And the men said, we give you all the library, and we're gonna go down there, and we're gonna go, that's a gun room, like you've never seen. And we'll go down there and see it, and see that that is a special gun room. Here's one Tiffany lamp, officially, and it has a name called the Acorn. The Acorn, because you see the little acorn design? So look it up, see what it's worth. This one is one of 4 seasonal lamp shades on this lamp, so they would rotate 4 times a year. We don't have, which season do you think this is? Spring, summer, fall, or winter? With a poinsettia.
I would say fall.
No, winter, because
She's
that's
right, winter.
poinsettias you get at Christmas time.
Poinsettias. Yeah, I mean, I agree, it looks spring, it looks fall, it looks summer, it, you know, a flower, you think of it. But a special winter one, they wanted to have be a poinsettia. We don't have the other 3. If you go to a yard sale, you see something that looks like that, but it looks like spring or fall, or, you know, summer, get it.
Grab it, even if it's
Grab it.
$5, get it.
Even if it's $100,
Go all the
$500,
way. Yes.
$1,000.
Take more money from your sister. So,
Now, you said when the house was built originally, it went out to this first wall here,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So they had this room split at that point?
yes,
Okay, I
yes.
see.
So it was just dead end. There was a wall right here somewhere, and the women had that side after the big meal, and the men had this side. Called the gun room, and this kind of signifies what used to be here, you know, their trophies and so forth. This was not a Carnegie trophy, though. This was donated to the Park Service. And you know, when somebody gives you something nice like that, you have to hang it up. Well, they wanted to hang it up in there in the gun room, which is now the gun room. And do you know he fell off once? They said, okay, we'll hang him back up. This has been recent, like, you know, the last 10 or 20 years. They hung him up, and he fell off again, and this time when he fell off, his antler cut this really nice leather settee and, you know, ruined it basically. And they said, let's see if we can find somewhere else. So they said, didn't that used to be a gun room? I bet that wall would support this nice big head. And sure enough, they hang him there, he doesn't fall. So back in the original gun room.
I'm surprised they got him, that Tiffany lamp, under him.
Yes.
I don't think I would.
Yes.
I don't think I'd take that
If
chance.
she's telling the truth about this, then why did they put, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Because he's already proven the damage he can do. I'll show you
Those
that.
horns are damaging.
Look at that. But anyway, you are the only person, who's been here 5 years off and on, you're the only person that's ever mentioned that. That is such an interesting observation. So he's part of the gun room, even though now it's a library, you know. Oh, but let me say one thing about books. Books were even a form of hospitality then, because they were so rare. And so you allow your guests to sit in a comfortable room, not full belly, you know, nice after dinner drinks, some cookies, give them a book to read.
And yeah, then they wanted to read it because they hadn't seen the book and they wanted to read stories or information or.
It was
Yeah.
magical. It really was to be able to have a book.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Any questions about so far up here? How much? How many dollars that is? I do not know. And honestly, I know what those down there that we're going to see. I can round you off and give you a number on that one. It's a big number. I have not looked that one up, but we could. We could do that.
These are all the original light fixtures and stuff, like the sconces and.
Yes and no. I think they used to have gas lighting, and then of course moved it up, you know,
Yeah.
evolved to the electrical. But yeah, I mean, as far as I know, they
So
are.
as far as, at the time it was built, the heat was just the fireplaces and then the nice times they would just open the windows.
Well, coal, C-O-A-L, coal-fired radiators. We'll see those in the
Okay.
basement. They didn't want you to see the radiators up here.
I see, okay.
See? But we'll see those in the basement. You'll see all kinds of machinery and stuff in the basement that allow this to stay warm. Not unlike now, as you notice, we don't have any heat or anything. Just a minute. Excuse me, this to be the original front of the house. That's the reason these doors are so massive. But you can close this off for privacy.
Don't
That's
touch.
something else you can give your visitors. Come on, you can step in here one or two at a time. This, when the doctor was, did I tell you
No
that
touching.
Nancy had, it's red
You
carpet,
can
so
launch.
you're good. Nancy, and one of the bathrooms there, first of the 11 bathrooms. Nancy's husband was a doctor, and he used this
Take a
as
look around
his
and walk out, Nolan, so.
his office. And so he was the island doctor, so people would come and visit him here. Isn't that cool? This is like starting in 1920. He was already the island doctor before he married her. That's how they met. But so they expanded this to be that. Earlier, we think it was a flower arranging room or just a general storage room. And I told you they had 30 rooms, but you know, some of them were teeny tiny, almost like a closet, but it was status to have a lot of rooms. Okay, look at our island treasures. This makes you feel like somebody wants you to visit them. They'd say, go out and whatever you find, bring it back and we'll put it on our island treasures shelf and you'll be part of this place forever, you see? So can you imagine just going out with finding a shell and bringing it in and know it's going to be here the next time you come back to visit your aunts and uncle here, aunt and uncle. So you've seen some of these still today, haven't you?
You know what plum that is?
I'm not sure. What do we think? Let's just all guess. A big
Horse bone,
something.
maybe?
You think horse?
Horse bone.
Oh, that's probably a crab.
Yeah, crab.
Yeah. And isn't it funny that they would find the same things that you always find? So, see, more of the same wallpaper thing, but it looks different. Now, gun room or game room, come in. Notice more privacy options. You can slide this little door right here, this little pocket door, big, I say little.
Big pocket door,
This
yeah.
big pocket door. Still works like 120 years. So, this is more hospitality for your people. You could go hunting, looks like they have golf. Men and women could do golf. They had special rules for their hunting. And does anybody would like to read out loud to us? Would you like to read out loud? Could you read these words? I want you to read, not all of these, this is too many. I want you to read number 1 and number 2, and then I'm going to ask somebody else to read the last two, 11 and 12. Could you read, and let's see whose game rules these are. Do you know the word estate?
Estate.
Mm-hmm.
The estate from Lucy C.
Speak up.
Carnegie.
Kennedy, Cumberland Land, Georgia.
Thank you.
No game is to be hunted or shot from an
Automobile.
That's a two-part word. That's auto and then mobile, so it's automobile.
automobile.
I wonder why they'd say you can't shoot them from in a car.
That's cheating.
How's that cheating?
Seems like cheating, because you could just.
Because deer just know they're just driving and they don't know they have a gun.
Yeah, they don't have any protection if you've got the advantage of being an automobile. So they love to offer hunting and other recreational opportunities, but they wanted people to not just go crazy here. Okay, let's protect our island. Okay, what do you think about number 2?
Only turkey gobblers shall be shot.
So a turkey gobbler is of which sex? Male or female?
Male.
Male. So they just want you to shoot the males, not the females.
Yeah.
Okay? So you got to know what you're doing. You just don't go out there and. So does that make sense? Thank you very much. Anybody else?
You want to read 11 and 12?
Thank you. Down here, the last two. Now, one of the ones he's going to read is going to be funny. So get ready to laugh.
No turtle eggs shall be dug or their nest disturbed. People smoking will please take
Every precaution.
every precaution to prevent fire, especially when riding in automobiles. Put butts out on
Floor of car.
floor of car.
So you got to put your cigarette butt out on the floor of the car?
Don't throw your cigarette butt out.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think that?
Because cigarettes aren't good for animals.
What else?
Well, it's
They'll
also
get sick.
No, what else?
What else could have stick? Yeah, fire. That's right. That's right.
And you know, they had a problem with fire on the island already, so they didn't want, this house to go up in fire too. Thank you very much. But isn't that just wonderful that they had rules and they make sense? And they were kind of advanced, particularly about protecting the turtle eggs. You know, that's what we're still.
We still
We have
do.
awareness there, so. But this is another room you can just relax and, you know, they have little things here. Just remind you that they have outdoor croquet and badminton and indoor squash court that we're going to see. And this is where you would store some of your things. Okay, these are the not one but two Tiffany lamps that I told you. I'd tell you how much they are.
Wow.
Do you
They're
know-
matching?
Do you know? Yes. Do you know $1 million? You know, like I want to be a millionaire and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what the kind of number that we're talking, honey.
That each lamp is $1 million?
I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
You don't have to have the power.
Top, both of those.
Wow. 2 million.
It's a million.
6
For both of them.
zeros. 6 zeros, honey. You see, that just floored me that I don't even want to know what the others are worth.
Yeah.
Thank you for looking under there. We must have the maker's mark. Can you see right over here where you are? It's about 9 o'clock. There's a little teeny rectangle that's kind of golden, and it says the maker's mark. It says him. It's over there where you are. Well, I'm going to step off here 1 second. There it is.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
how
yeah,
we
yeah. I
know.
do see it. I do see it.
And good luck seeing it. You just have to kind of trust me what it says.
Yeah.
But that's how we know it's a real Tiffany.
Wow.
Okay.
And you know when they project hurricanes or tornadoes or whatever, they come in and take these, and I don't know what they do with them, but they unhook them. You know what I mean? Because you can understand why.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, there's two, not one, but
2.
that were specially commissioned.
Wow.
Unique. I mean, this is
Well,
the
they're
word.
kind of they are unique because they're not even the same piece. You know, it's a pane to pane. It's like
It's
you
artistic.
know artistically created. Yeah.
Wonder how heavy they are. They look
Yeah.
pretty heavy.
Yeah, again, and let me tell you one more beautiful thing. If you don't do anything else, and if you don't remember anything else, bend over and look at the undershell. This one's called oyster shell, by the way, if you're looking it up. Oyster shell on the outside. Underneath, did I do that wrong? Sorry. This is turtleback on the outside and oyster shell
Oh, okay. So
underneath.
it's, wow.
And good luck getting a good photo. That is so difficult to photograph, but she's
I can
really
do
good.
it.
And you see them? You see the oyster shell looking underneath? And
Oh, so that's where he was hanging
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
fell.
the piano's kind of an odd thing. It's like, I don't know. They say that this was not in here, but again, it came from one of the mansions. They had to put it somewhere, so they put it here. And even as recently as a few months, you could play this. Somebody from one of you all could go in there and play that. But then you got a new curator, and they did more research. They found out it's older than they think. So we're going to keep it, but we're going to preserve it more, you know.
Yeah.
And then I don't know where it's going to end up, where it's going to go. But it's probably 100 years old, this piano. And so you can't play it anymore. We can just appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Kind of looks like
one more.
ours.
This is your ammunition drawers, ammunition closet for all the guns that where you see the wooden ones represent them. They each had their own name: Springfield, G1I, 30 Winchester. I mean, if you talk guns.
Types of rifles. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's where the ammo was, or the ammunition?
So you know,
Was those real?
this turkey upstairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
See what guests were offered if they were day guests. Now this is what they would be offered. Up here, we'll see some bedrooms and closets and fireplaces.
Well, no.
And you can
Yeah.
hang on to this, even though I told you not to touch, you may touch this layer.
Okay. Stay on the
just for
carpet.
safety. And so first we're going to see Margaret's dressing room. This is not for guests now, this is just hers. But I will show you some other guest rooms. I
So
want
the
you to
wallpaper
take,
extends up here too, huh?
pardon?
The
Yes,
wallpaper
look at it.
shows the whole house. doesn't it?
That was a job and a half, wasn't it? Look left. We're going to go right, but I want you to look left. you're gonna see the nursery down there. That's how long this home is. It's that long. I mean, there's a little dollhouse that you see, but that's how long the home is. You're welcome to peek in there. Those are just random little closets and some storage spaces and stuff. We're gonna go this way officially, but you're welcome to peek in there.
Wow, that's how long the house is, huh?
Oh, there's a dollhouse back there. I didn't even know it. Can I see?
What?
And just go on around to the right, staying on the red carpet. You may go in that bathroom. That is Margaret's bathroom. You think, well, it's just a bathroom. Everybody's got one of those. Well, this one has heated towel racks on your left. They have a steam radiator that will keep the towels warm. Notice that she has not only a hot and cold water, she has a shampoo knob. Do you see a shampoo knob? Somehow they rigged it to where her shampoo would come out the rain shower thing. Somebody had been to Europe, somebody had
Toilet.
It's got a special name, French for bidet. Bidet. And they had two kinds of water. They had seawater and they had non-seawater, fresh water, good water.
Sorry, I'm off the carpet. That, I mean, that's not the toilet.
Oh, you're fine.
The
Right,
toilet's
this
up
is
here.
the
Okay,
toilet.
okay,
But
so-
yeah, that's for extra cleaning.
You know what a bidet is.
Yeah, I didn't see the toilet. I was
Yeah.
saying, where's the
It's
major
kind of
business
a
gonna happen?
rinky-dink toilet, yeah, isn't it?
We
It's a
saw this
special one.
same tile at the ruins.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. There was pieces of it.
Oh, how
Yeah, there
wonderful.
was.
Yeah, they got a package deal, I guess.
Yeah.
And of course, this is modern toilet. You know, toilets don't last.
Yeah.
You know. But this is where Margaret would get ready. And again, later Nancy, but you know, Nancy had diabetes, so she didn't probably take advantage of this single room effectively. Yes, yes, again, this is always a juggle thing between what the curator wants to preserve this and what we need to offer people who are visitors. You know what I mean?
Yes.
To make it a little bit warmer, I sacrificed this, but now I'm closing up, but it's stronger. And the sun is now, and we want to protect it. And they didn't think of it. It's part of an enunciator system, which is like a call system. You'll see the enunciator box downstairs. And if you needed your milk and cookies and it was late at night, you would buzz that. Or some of them even have like a microphone and you can talk and ask for whatever you want.
Wow.
Okay.
You see that? So when they wanted something, they ring the bell. Yeah.
So this is where the gentleman of the house would store his clothes and his bathroom. They're ready to move on, aren't you?
Wow, I like the men's closet better. It's more spacious, got drawers.
Wow. So this is the men's closet.
They have equal time, yeah. And they
Wow,
would
it's
have
big.
a lot of clothes, you know, they wouldn't stay here year round, but, that's a little heater to make your bathroom warm. They would bring a lot of clothes, so they needed a lot of closet space. It was too much trouble to
That sink.
bring as many clothes as they needed, so they needed to store them here. Okay, come on up. This is again the new part of the house. This is the original master bedroom.
How big that is.
This is the addition.
Okay.
This is the original part of the house. That was all added.
Yeah, that's the new. Put up in the 40s and the 50s.
This is the built on.
Heated, I believe heated towel racks even for the guests. Woo! I'm seeing a ghost. Is it a this bell was a wedding housewarming type thing. It says Winnie Joyce Remembrance. It's got the date and the name. So that's a suggestion for a gift. Somebody that has everything is a bell with their name on it. And they can be ringing it 100.
Pretty large one too.
And that's a really good size one. Well, it's
Wow.
practical too. Thank you for mentioning that. If you rang once, it was like 15 minutes till dinner. If it rang twice, it was like somebody's coming up the drive. If it was like 3 times, it was an emergency. Drop whatever you're doing, go to the designated area. You know, how else could you communicate when you didn't have
Right,
cell
a big
phones?
house, yeah, you could
So
whistle,
that-
but that's better.
So
that's
that bell had to
practical
be
and
so
beautiful.
big, huh?
Isn't that
Yeah.
a great gift?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't y'all go through there? It's just a bedroom, then a bathroom, then a bedroom, and then a bathroom, and I'm gonna meet you down here in the nursery.
Okay.
You go on through there.
Come on, we walk through this way. I wonder why they step down like this, I guess you needed to for some reason. Oh, this is where the porch goes out.
One of the other things hospitality is things about a nanny. You came to kids and they went to stay here and you could be upstairs and enjoy yourself.
Most of them here up until the 70s, you know, they used all this stuff, this was all, you know, they lived here. Wow.
Somebody in the family, somebody in Nancy's
I mean,
family.
when you see that, you don't think it would be working that recently, but it.
But yeah, 50 years ago, yeah.
I think I came the wrong way.
Oh, no, we're good.
Oh. Oh, the nursery.
This looks like the
But this
playroom.
would-
Wow, look at that house.
It looks like
Very
the
nice.
playroom, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that
They
dollhouse.
say that dollhouse was a replica of one of their houses up north.
Wow.
Somebody said in Pittsburgh, and then somebody was here that was a Pittsburgh native, and they said, I've never seen that in Pittsburgh, so, you know, you hear all kinds of things. But anyway, go right ahead, honey, make yourself at home. One of the Carnegie grandbabies was here one day. He's a little over 2 years old, and he had walked through everything, and he was kind of bored and all this. He came to this room, and he said, he was leaving, he said, me play that room, me play that room. I mean, even if you only knew what you're saying.
Wow.
Did you find a skylight? Open the windows, close the windows, whatever it was. This goes, and it relates to some window coverings down in the basement.
Okay.
Look at that. This is where I live. Welcome to my neighborhood. There's another apartment over here. This used to be servants' quarters.
Okay.
And go down here and see the servants, watch your head, what, the servants' linen closet. See, they were the ones that would do all the changing of the beds every day. And so they needed it to be close to them. That wouldn't be really ugly. But they needed so many because they changed them every day. Here's an example of some linens. Don't let that knock your nose back.
So this is the linen
Linen
closet?
closet close to the servants' quarters.
Oh.
Now, we have downstairs, you know, regular washer dryer that we use and so forth. This is hospitality.
Fire.
Yes. See, we talked a lot about fire. Why? Because Dungeness was destroyed by fire twice. So this is hospitality. We take for granted. But, and Skylight was my beautiful one on, this is called the servant side of the house. When they added on, they said, we've got to distinguish between where the servants stay and where the people stay. We're all going to be in the same house. So it's a different, see that wallpaper?
Not quite as fancy on this side.
And not quite as fancy, and you've got this funny yellow, harvest yellow. And let me tell you, each of the other mansions, if you were hired to work here and you had a party, say Saturday night at another mansion, guess what color the servants' quarters would be painted? The same color. So you would know when you were in the servants' area and when you were in the family area. And you didn't go there unless certain areas in the family, you know, serve or whatever. And that was also a clue to guests too, who might be here. If they ventured here, maybe they don't need to be over here in the service area, if you get my drift, you know what I mean? So, and if you do, you're on your own, and that's kind of an adult.
If you do, you're put to work.
Yeah, well, that too, there you go. Yeah, I like that. Now, did I tell you we got an elevator?
Yeah.
This is by a man named Otis, or a company named Otis. You've heard of it? Even the Eiffel Tower in London has an Otis elevator. You might have been on one
yeah.
somewhere. Yeah, and that goes all the way to the basement. And we're gonna be there in a matter of seconds. So take another left and immediately go back downstairs.
I mean, Kevin.
Don't take a tumble. I can only catch one of you, not any more than that. Did you almost try to trick me, make me think as you fell? This is where you all know who you are. What's this called? Ingle.
Look.
Good. There you go. Here we go. Okay. Here's another glance at the elevator.
Ingle Nook.
I'll let you go in the kitchen. There's no red carpet, but please go on in. This tile will be here long after this carpet. Go on in and see where they cooked that delicious meal and served your guests. Good catch.
Ooh.
The area out here,
In the kitchen on the back of the house here.
and you know, of course, the
Just leave it right there. Just leave it where it stops.
was really expensive.
Just leave it where it stops. Okay, stop.
About 45 years after
Just leave it.
Lots of, let's just do one. Let's make it good.
So this is where this is the kitchen?
Yes. That's where the tile changes there.
Oh, they had good and plenties even back then? No. I said they had good and
Good
plenties?
and plenty, see how it's there.
Yeah.
We know that they're probably just replicates.
Yeah.
But I think I could have, anyway. But food, they have been on picnics. Can you imagine going on a picnic? Everybody that's here and guests getting in a carriage and riding to the beach. Beach is 2.5 miles that way. Wouldn't you be hungry and you've been riding in a carriage?
Except for we're hiking.
We're not hiking there.
That is fake food, but doesn't it look good? Pumpkin, I guess. Is that something?
Oh, that's where the bathroom was.
It'd be great if they could make it smell, wouldn't it? Okay, now, after you cook up your stuff here, you have another room to plate our food up. Yes. Here, even that room, the dining room is number 1. It says you could be in there and buzz somebody to come bring you whatever you needed if you wanted to. This is a special sink, came from Tennessee. It's made out of limestone and it's called Tennessee marble. You know, kind of but it came in on a ship like everything else here. They didn't use the island materials for this. They wanted extra things. And that you can see it's been here hundreds of years. Here's what they ate, and you'll notice that they had some vanilla ice cream. Yes, they made their ice cream. They had an ice machine, which we'll see in the basement. They would serve shrimp. Of course, it had to be served on ice or lettuce, fresh lettuce, in the garden out back. Really, really wonderful, like for Sunday lunch. Soup or grapefruit, roast beef, roast Irish or some kind of potatoes and 2 fresh vegetables and hot rolls, beaten biscuit or Sally Lunn bread, ice cream or water ice, thin cookies or layer cake or thin hot small cakes, coffee. That's Sunday lunch.
That's
I
a
guess
lot of
this really
food.
this height wasn't really a concern. Most people back here were shorter, first of all, or maybe they were female, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
mostly female.
well, I mean, not tall females.
Yeah, right.
Because everybody was shorter than
Right, and it's okay. I'm sorry, did you have a question? Somebody did? Oh, did you have a
Oh,
question?
no.
Somebody, does it actually say some kind of biscuit?
He does. Biscuit. Oh, then that is a beaten biscuit. Who knows? Who knows? I'll take the one. I'll be willing to try a beaten biscuit. Okay, more and more storage, you see, big thing, big meals, big time. Circle around again, don't get busy. This is more hospitality here. This originally, wine would be in the basement, it wouldn't be here, but they did some renovation down there for a handicap accessible lift, and they had to put that somewhere, so they brought it up here, so you all would make sure that you saw it. They want you to know that they did have security. Does anybody need to make a phone call? This would be local calls only, okay?
Man, that's hard to carry in your pocket right there.
Yeah, look at that. This goes
Yeah, you take
to
it
your
off.
ear,
And
and you talk to somebody, and they give you your number. It's personal. And you might even need to, this is a crank over here, you crank it to get their attention.
It's like at the playground, there's like a little thing.
Oh, yeah, at the playground.
Okay, do they have one like that to play with? That's good.
Yeah, like we're talking to it and then somebody
Is, what was this now, an elevator?
At the other end.
it's an
Yeah, this is
elevator.
close to that Otis elevator.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't necessarily for people just going down, they say it was for the servants. That's kind of weird to me, but come on out. They've been down here getting ice, and I guess they needed to take it somewhere. You're welcome to hang off these steps, are really dangerous. You see the yellow and black stripe, that's, you know what that means. And there's even a sign that says, watch your step. Again, I can't catch all of you. Oh. There it is. Yeah, there's a sign that says it only costs 2,000, excuse me, how many pounds? 200 pounds, I believe. So it was just you and a tray of ice, or maybe.
Well, Otis, he started making bigger elevators.
Okay.
He's still making them, I think. We go places.
Still making them.
Yeah.
But see, this is all they needed. And do you know, this is hydraulic.
Oh, really?
This was not electric, okay? They caught rainwater, and they had some kind of pump, agricultural pump, and if this
Wow.
water would be stored out in the back field. I'm making all this up because I don't understand how it happens
Yeah.
exactly. And then when you wanted to go up to the first floor or the second floor, or even the attic, we passed by the attic stairs, the water would be strong enough to lift this sucker, and you know that's heavy.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Maybe
how much
they
space
used
is
it
on
for-
the attic level?
How much space?
How much space?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I wonder if they used it, the servants, to haul all those heavy guest trunks.
Probably those trunks when you saw it filled
Yeah.
with clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably used it.
I mean, if they came in the ground level, maybe they used the elevator to take them up.
Take that on up, yes. That's a smart idea.
Guys, we're going around this way.
Hang in here with us, one more thing. I want to show you a really old electrical system, back when they had the first kind, DC, not AC like we have, but DC, direct current. One of few in the world. And there's some coal, by the way, initially for a while. They did use coal fire radiators. For
Put it right there so
but
they
this
can
is
put
an
it in the window.
AC/DC. There was some kind of controversy between Edison, I think they made a movie about it, AC/DC, who won out, Tesla or somebody, and so this is what they started out. Look, speaking of that ventilation system, you would open this and that would help with the ventilation up there on the second floor.
Yeah.
By the way, when you had too much water, it would come in here, designed, it's gonna come in here on this basement, even though it's, here we are on an island, you still got this good basement, it doesn't smell like a 120-year-old basement. This water would come in, and they built this up right here so that in case of really high water, it would flow right out that way. It would, you had dry storage above it. They were no dummies, right?
Yeah.
They-
Oh, wow.
prepared for coastal flooding,
Yes.
Wow.
and that's
What's
the
like all the way
stack
back
of.
there where the light is?
Well, that's just a little door.
Honey.
It's just more of the same, and then a door you could exit, and of course they would let the water out if there was extra water here. But Oh, and that's a radiator that would be up there in the entryway, but they didn't want guests to see the radiator, so they covered it and had it down here.
Oh,
But the heat still would go upstairs. Back when we had these.
that goes up to
But
the
here's
dry
the
storage.
2024, we don't have heat. Various and assorted heater, water heaters, coal fire. This is the ice maker. I need somebody to go over there and read me just the top part of that advertisement. If you were in need of an ice maker back in the early 1900s.
Stop and shop, stop the Iceman's slop, mess and dirt, eliminate the disagreeable, dirty, and unsanitary method of icing refrigerators by installing the auto-diffen Singren refrigerating machine.
This is it. There was a belt here. I mean, a motor that connected that belt. They put aluminum, I would say, dioxide or something, and it made the slushy stuff. It made the ice. They would send it up those pipes and send it up the kitchen. They had something called an ice box. There's replicas back there behind you. Well, no, not replica. They're the real things. If you want to see, this is just something to keep your food cold. It's not necessarily refrigeration, you see, just
Yeah.
a way, just like our coolers. Yes, dear.
What happened when those people
It's like a big refrigerator.
But it's an ice box. So these are the original ice boxes.
It was set up to live here 24/7, 12 months a year. But they had other homes, so they, and when it got real hot in the summer, they might want to go further north and live, you see. But in the wintertime, they loved staying here. So it was a seasonal home for Nancy and her family. Now, the first two people, the newlyweds, they might have lived here most of the time, year round. But it's kind of a vacation home to the next family that moved in. You know what I mean?
That way the bugs wouldn't be so bad.
Some of the old wiring here,
Yeah.
some of the original wiring they left there.
This house is like an encyclopedia, isn't it? Y'all want to see a junk room, 100-plus-year-old junk room? You've got an old smoker, you've got toilets, you've got long iron boards because your dresses were longer. They would laugh at our little teeny short iron boards these days. Yes, honey.
does that door
See?
Yes.
Wow, look at that toilet over there, though.
That's probably one of the original ones that were replaced.
Look at all the scrolls on it. Can't buy a toilet like that no more these days. Look at that old sink.
This is the old boiler here. Looks like it was cold. This is like the old boiler here.
I think so.
Yeah, it looks like it was, that's the coal, probably coal fire.
That was the coal one.
Yeah.
I'd say that would work.
Yeah.
And it's a mystery. Oh, she wouldn't see right here. This is the back part of that. See, that would just connect right there. We just use it as storage. That's on the other side of that refrigerator type, those doors, okay? Now, I'm gonna show you one interesting thing. We currently use the Kohler power system. Look at one of the early diesel generators. Come right around here and look at the name on this generator here.
Still a Kohler.
It was a Kohler to a Kohler, look at that.
They've been
People
making
from
Kohlers for a
Wisconsin,
long time, huh?
They love that. They want their picture made with that. They're very proud of that. Now, this is where that wine rack was, but then they moved in this, then they had to move it upstairs. Okay, y'all ready to see a swimming pool and a squash court?
Yeah.
This is the last phase. The swimming pool is on the other side of this brick wall. But it was a heated swimming pool. I think it's 78 degrees, I believe. But they would have to have a stove over there, heat the water, run it through the pipes, and then make the brick warm, and then that would heat the well water to 78 degrees. It's a lot of trouble for a pool, but they decided it was worth it.
Is that the stairs?
That's the steps you're gonna go up. And we've got steel beams here, reinforced, so it's pretty strong. Okay, watch your head here, watch your step.
Papa.
Of course. Guess who? And you've got two big things here. On your right, you can walk into this indoor squash court. It's one of two in the world. This is part of the entertainment for the guests. Up at the top, you've got a pool. The acoustics are really bad up here. My voice is going to echo. So I'm going to ask you one last question, and I'm going to meet you this way out on the porch. How deep do you think the pool is?
20.
Wait till you see it. Wait till you see it. Wait till you see it.
And then
And
you're
keep
gonna
in
tell
mind
her
that most of the
outside.
pools you've seen have water in them, and there's a law of refraction. Going to the pool.
Wow, look at this.
Huh? What is this? The squash court? What is that, like a badminton or something? Or
Imagine like a you could have a basketball game.
not badminton, what do they call it?
Squash,
pickleball.
handball.
Wow, this is where the
I
swimming
think
pool,
it's 20 feet.
and look, the dressing rooms.
I would say 10. I would say 10. Still, look at those stairs go all the way to the bottom.
Let me see.
Oh, they don't even need to go all the way to the bottom.
Wow. How many feet do you think that is?
Yeah. Yeah, the earth wants to move around. Can't change that. Yeah.
Were these rails, is that for them to hold on to, or was that part of the heating of the pool?
I believe that's to hold on to.
Okay.
I think the heaters were behind the tiles.
Oh.
Now, that's my guess. I do not know for sure. Nobody's ever asked me. You all have such good questions. Excuse me.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm gonna guess 10 feet.
Oh, we got a 10, we got a, you said 10 and 11, and we got an 8. Keep going. You're all close. You're training yourself.
What's up there?
Oh, up there. Go ahead.
Can
It's the overlook to the squash court. It's like the little balcony.
Oh, wow. Don't lean on it. It's very low. So you could sit up here and watch.
Yeah, go.
Huh. That's awesome.
I'm scared. I'm getting back. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, don't lean. Let's go.
Let's go, Ravens.
I'm going to say 18.
What'd you say?
18?
18.
I think
Yours is
13.
probably a popular guess.
Oh, really?
But you are the farthest from the correct.
Oh,
But you have done so well answering my questions. You and I have communicated.
Whoops.
14.
What do you think?
14.
She changed her mind to 14. It is only, and you're going to want to probably go back in there and count. It's only 9 foot 4 inches.
really?
Oh, I was so close.
You were
What'd you say?
I was saying 8 foot.
He was the first to get it because each of those tiles are like 4-inch tiles and you can count them. See, but it's so confusing because water. You know, if you have a clear glass of water and a clear glass,
Uh-huh.
you put a spoon in it. You know how it looks like it bends.
Yeah.
Try that. You know, if it's a clear glass, you see it bends because it's refracted. The light is refracted. It travels faster in water or out in the air than it does in water. It slows it down. And
Okay.
you've seen most of the pools with water in it.
Yeah.
And people, you all always told them, that pool is deeper than you think it is.
Yeah.
Because you think, that's about 3 feet, what's that? That's just, what's that? But it's 3 feet, it's 3
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how deep. I saw here's another thing. I saw a 6-foot volunteer one day down there. I said, okay, Denny, I know you're 6 foot. And he only came like about 2/3 the way up. I thought, I bet it is 9 foot.
Wow.
4 inches.
It looks so much deeper than that.
I wonder when the last time they ever had it working. Probably.
I think the 70s. Again, the family was here,
Uh huh.
and it would be well water.
Uh-huh.